Puerto Rican kid, bald head, loves snakes, loves Blizzy, Sergio Chacon.
Yeah. What up, Pa?
Peace. Welcome to the DBS podcast. It's your boy Sergio Chacon, aka Blizzy Chacon. That shit whack. I mean, it's always gonna be Dirtbag Shit podcast. The DBS podcast. Peace and welcome to the DBS podcast. It's your boy Sergio Chacon in the mix. Hope everyone's feeling well. This week I am joined by a fellow Lower East Side native, the CEO of CONBODY. Please welcome and enjoy the story of Coss, Marte.
Coss, what up, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. You already know, just figuring it out, managing with the COVID, and just staying safe.
Dope, man. I like that brick wall in the back right there. That is like original brick. That's not veneer. That's real brick.
Yeah, no, that's the real brick. That's the real brick.
That's like Lower East Side tenement brick.
Exactly.
Been here since the early 1800s when there was Jewish gangs all over the Lower East Side.
Yep.
Yo, it's so nice to talk to a fellow Lower East Sider native because we are rare, dogs.
Yeah, it's gentrified now. We are rare.
Coss, it's serious, dogs. Me and you are like the Florida Panthers. There's only like 15 of us left.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got to take advantage if you have that rent control.
Yeah, for real.
My mom is still living in the same spot, so.
So all those people listening, man, don't be a dirtbag and sell your rent control apartment to some yuppie and move to Tampa, Florida, and work at a Chili's.
Nah.
Hold it down.
For life.
Yeah, so born and raised on the Lower East Side, man. And so your story is super fascinating. You were a hustler back when you were 13 years old. I'm surprised we don't know each other. Not that I was into hustling, but I was definitely into using.
Yeah.
I was on the other side of it.
yeah, maybe we ran into each other. I don't know. I was on Forsyth, Eldridge, Rivington, Stanton, Broome.
Yeah.
So everything lower, by Allen Street down.
Yeah, I grew up on Baruch Projects, and then I moved to 3rd Street, and then I moved to like the Hill, like Grand Street area, and now I'm on 5th. I'm still in the Lower East Side.
I was on Compost too, so I lived in Compost on 12th Street.
All right, cool. So you're co-D, and we'll get into the story a bit, but your co-defendant, he looks familiar. He looks like a dude that I might have been in like a little league with or something. I remember, like, I picture that face.
You absolutely was in little league with him in the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy looks familiar.
He was a hothead. He was nasty. He is nasty. He used to play. He was great at baseball.
I remember him being good. Like, I remember that. So when I saw him on the documentary that you guys were in with Vice, it was Vice, right?
With Vice, yeah.
That was put together very well. I think it was a great depiction on your story. Were you happy with the finished product?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we've been waiting for that product for like 2.5 years. So
wow,
that was a while that they interviewed us and they sold it to the UK. So we thought we would never see it over here. So when somebody hit me up and was like, "Yo, I just saw you on Vice," I was like, "What? When?"
Wow! So you didn't even realize it was released.
I didn't even know, and it was like a 3-day shoot. So I was waiting for years. I was like, whatever, it's never coming out.
Damn, yo, see what CONBODY does? This guy looks great, bro. Like, you look the same as when you filmed that.
Yep.
I wouldn't think that was like years ago. You're telling me that's years ago.
Yeah, that was almost 3 years ago.
So, all right. So you were hustling back early 90s. What was the drug you were pushing? You were pushing crack, heroin, all the above?
Crack, coke. I mean, I sold dope. But crack and coke was like my big thing that I was like hustling around the neighborhood. I mean, if somebody asked me for like a few bundles, I'm getting it, but I was not really bagging up dopes like that.
Yeah. And did you find that early on, because you obviously that you are an entrepreneur from way back. I could see that from your story. Like, you just knew how to position yourself where to make money fastest, although you were like a soldier in it. You were like out on the streets a lot, and then you figured out a way to kind of get like the modern day Uber in regards to drugs moving. Did you find like one drug did better than the other as far as like what suited your needs for that immediate time?
I mean, Coke was crazy. I mean, it blew up, and especially when the neighborhood got gentrified, like it became, something that we just did not stop getting, an audience for. You know what I mean?
Right,
So like, crack was like, I was selling dimes of crack when I was like 13, 14 years old, on the block, and that kept people coming back in 20s, and we was selling Dodge. But when we started changing the whole price, the whole game up, where we were selling $100 grams to these blanquitos that were moving into the LES, like
right,
it was just $100 a gram. You know what I mean?
right.
We were getting the brick for like 21, 22. You
Right. The
know,
money is better and the story is easier to digest. I feel. I feel like when you see a crackhead roll up on you, I think sometimes we can see like a familiar story. It's like, damn, that's my boy's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
like crack.
that used to happen. Yeah, that used to happen to me too. Like I sold drugs to my friends' moms and
Oh
all
yeah,
that. Yeah, everything you could think of. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it was all and it was the mentality was like, yo, if they're not gonna get it from me, they're gonna get it from somebody down the block. So might as well get that money. You know what I mean?
Right, right. It's easy to jade yourself and become numb to
Yep,
what's going on, and think, oh, this is about money. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna get it from someone else regardless.
exactly.
So, in a sense, it's like an addiction to money and a certain lifestyle.
Absolutely. I mean, the money was very, very addicting. The lifestyle was very addicting. Like all I thought about was like, if you were not getting money, I didn't want to be around you. If you were not motivated to get money, I didn't want to be like, I didn't want none of that energy. I just wanted people that were like getting money and figuring out ways to get more money. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
And
right,
scheming and doing all types of crazy shit.
right, right, right. Then, so how long was that career in drugs? Like 10, 15 years?
I mean, in and out of jail for 16, 17 years,
Wow. And the
17
longest.
years. I got off parole when I actually got locked up at 13. And 29 years old, I got off parole,
Wow.
but
Wow.
I got locked up in 20 when I was 23. But then when I was locked up in there, um, I was still selling, I was still sneaking in shit to Rikers Island and telling wifey, send the package over, I was boofing
Yeah.
it, all that. You know how that works.
Yeah, yeah. Boofing. I haven't heard that shit in a while. What they call that? It's like there's another saying that they use, like a prison pocket. Like, what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
this
that's the prison pocket, man. You boof it.
a
Mhm.
boof it.
You put a
Wow.
little Vaseline in the back of your ear when you're going down to the dance floor. The dance floor is the visit room.
Right?
And you just, you do that handoff and pop, you flick it in.
Wow. Wow. That is wild, man. I mean, it's all it's just all part of the lifestyle. And
Yeah, and it
what's
was about getting money. It was about getting
yeah,
money. It
the
was
money
like,
was the
yo,
objective. You seem like you were very like driven by that and didn't get distracted by much else. Like you weren't involved like you didn't get involved in gangs. Like maybe you had like a crew, but you weren't like in a gang per se. Which I gotta say, in the Lower East Side, I felt like gangs. We had like more. And correct me if I'm wrong. I felt like we had more block crews.
yeah,
With abbreviated, like it'd be FOS or it'd be BBB or DSB, shit like that, or Allen Boys,
yeah,
shit like that. I don't feel like, I guess those were gangs per se, but I felt like those were more like cliques that were block to block, but they didn't
yeah.
necessarily have.
Yeah, I mean, they had the gangs come out like in, like 94, 95. Like Lion King started getting flooded out
Nietas.
there. There was Bloods, Crips all over that stuff. You know what I mean? And La
Right.
Familia, I remember like hanging out with them a lot.
It's crazy how, right? It started. I feel like it was the Kings, and those motherfuckers were wild. And I remember the age range of Latin Kings. There'd be like
Like
a
Wall
5
Street.
year. I'd be like a 5-year-old Latin King.
Yeah, rocking all yellow.
Yeah. And then it'd be like a 70-year-old one hooked on dope. And I'm like, yo, they don't really discriminate. They'll let anyone do this shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And,
It was a
and then
religion.
all sorts of crew starts to surface. Like you had La Familia, Nietas, La Boba, Frijoles. Like there was this crews all over the place.
Yeah, it was
But
crazy.
you never really got involved too much in that. It was like the drug game was your thing. You had your selected crew.
Yeah, no, I had my crew. We used to call ourselves like 118,
Okay.
118 crew, because we were in front of 118 Eldridge, and
Okay.
that's where a couple of my best friends were in front of the building all day, all night. You know what I mean? So we held each other down. Some of them were a part of like DDP, like Dominicans Don't Play, and like all that shit, like Trinitario and all that other stuff. But yeah, I only had a circle of 5 people that
Right.
I really, really trusted. And then my crew started growing.
Wow.
But then, yeah, for me, gangs, I was attracted by gangs like La Familia. Like I had family members in La Familia, and that was something that when I was like, I don't know, a little kid, when I was like hustling there, I'm like, yo, I want to be down. You know what I mean? Even like my cousin got his fucking, he burned his fucking arm and wrote LF. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought I was like, yo, and you glorify that, but at the end of the day, for me, it was just like, what are they fucking doing?
Right.
They're not making no money.
Yeah. They're
Some of them,
inheriting other people's beefs
yep,
left
yep.
and right. Like that's the
Especially
majority
when
of
you
the
get,
style.
especially when you got locked up, and I learned that real quick when in juvie. When I first got locked up, that these people was fucking sending people on dummy missions.
Wow.
Like,
They were like
yo,
pawns.
this new kid came in, you got to go check him. Is he with it? If he's not with it, we jumping him. Uh, and that was a question. They tell you with it, you would not. And I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Boom, I'm getting fucked up. And I remember fighting almost every night, when I was younger.
Wow. And so when you were getting locked up in the streets, were you getting in fights like that, or you didn't really? Because you have a very like off the bat, you have a very like peaceful demeanor and energy about you. You seem
Yeah,
confident, but you don't
I was
seem like
not,
you have that like hostile
yeah,
demeanor.
I was not, my boy on the other hand was starting problems, but I was not a hothead. If beef came, I threw down, but yeah, I had a few fights,
Yeah.
but in the street, I was not going out there like, we did our shit, we robbed, stole, all that shit, you know what I mean? But I was not, my shit was just focused on getting money in the drug game.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember I had a lot of friends who were cop from that area, and one of my friends, may he rest in peace. He was wild. He was a Dominican cat, and you probably know him. His name was Richard Balby. You remember him?
Oh yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh wow, that was a good
Mhm.
friend of mine, and man, it broke my heart when when his passing, But I remember it when I hung out with him, he would he would always end up going over there, and I remember like there was a big Dominican population over there. So every time I hear like Eldridge, Allen, and those sort of antics, I think of Richie because he used to move over there. I never hung out with him over there, but I grew up with him. We played baseball, and this is a dude who, unfortunately, he was a fighter, like in and out, right, and a hardcore like fighter, but he has such a good heart, and it bothers me.
I saw him the day he died.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was
He
with
was
him
the
the
type
day
of
he
dude
died.
that will fight a dog for you.
Yep.
Like he had your back. He was a troublemaker, and I didn't want to get involved in that shit. I've seen him fuck people up, and I'm like, damn, Richie, like when we were young, junior high school shit, But he had your back, and he was like, that's so funny that he's your cousin. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He died in his sleep.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's right here. So those stories must be abundant, right? In your
Yeah, it's
life.
crazy. It's crazy. It gives me chills, just to hear and think about like people that, that I saw and didn't see the next day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, when you wake up in the hood and you're like, damn, this person got shot, or, this person, OD'd, or, just
How
even
do you
passed
deal with
away.
that as an adult right now with your own business? Because like what those are layers that have to be pulled back. Like therapy wise, is there anything that you sought? Is there anything that you seek to get peace of mind, or is it kind of like your attitude is like I'm just moving forward? That's behind me. What steps do you take forward
Yeah, I
to?
mean, right now I'm not like seeking therapy. I've seen a therapist. I've had tons of therapy in my life, as a youth and growing up. But yeah, right now I haven't like seen or seeked, especially during COVID. It's just been, my wife is basically the person that I speak to the most, and that's about it. Even though I believe we should get another part, everybody should get a therapist. Everybody should,
Yeah,
complete your
I think it's
besides your family members or your friends.
absolutely. I think the maintenance upstairs is super important, and we are so quick to neglect that. Neglect is a strong word, but you know what I mean. Like put that
Mhm.
behind, forget it. We always feel like we're too busy.
Yep. And most people don't. They think they don't need it. It's like, that's a white thing. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
White
right,
people
right.
do that shit. What the fuck I
Yeah,
need
it's
that?
there's this whole ideology that you're soft if you admit to needing help, or
Exactly.
pulling those layers back.
Exactly.
So you actually so you did fucking well like in the drug game. I mean, according to the documentary and everything I've looked up, I mean, millions of dollars were coming. That's a lot of fucking bread, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was unbelievable, and like I don't know. It just happened. It didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? We put work in. Like
Yeah.
we slept in the street, we ate in the street, we took fucking shits in the street. You know what I mean? We were
You
like
were like
out there.
obsessed with it, right? And
Yep.
that's why you were so good at it, right? You just put
Yep.
the man hours in there and became a little more sophisticated with it as time went on.
Yeah, I remember even going like, going to in the Heights and going to Dykeman and all that stuff. And they have the 24-hour spots.
Right.
You know, my Joy and I would go up there and clean up their whole block. Because we would run out and we'd be like, yo, and they were selling like $20 grand or $20 .5s. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
So
remember the drugs being much considerably cheaper up there, and the
uh,
quality seemed like it wasn't as stepped on.
exactly. So we were going up there. When we run out, we were like wiping the whole block, and everybody would close shop. You know what I mean?
Wow,
And
they
we would be
loved you
fine.
guys.
We When they used to see us, they used to run up to the
They
car
used to
like,
do a little bachata step, like
hell
yeah,
yeah.
boy. You know,
We had a 1993 Cadillac Fleetwood, pearl white seats, the fucking music blasting.
yeah,
Uh,
low key shit.
yeah, 22-inch fucking gold spinners and fucking just pulling up on the fucking sidewalk, like rolling up on the sidewalk and picking up mass shit and just going out like,
That's wild because I wouldn't picture you rolling like that, like given your energy now. Like I would think that you're
yeah.
low key and a fucking little Dodge
Well,
car.
I was, I don't know. I think it was more of Joey, my ex partner. It's like,
Was a little bit more flamboyant.
yeah, his influence, but I always love beautiful things too. Like I love, I always had Jordans and all that shit when I was a kid and all that stuff.
This guy was
Um,
moving around with chinchillas at the age of 11.
yeah, I mean, we did have the chinchillas, we had the fucking minks, we had all that shit. We were going on Orchard Street to Daniels and getting all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Orchard Street, man. That's the last of a dying breed. That block. Oh man, I miss walking down that block and the smell of leather and the yells of people trying to get you in the
They
store.
don't do that no more, man. They don't do that no more.
You know,
Crazy.
oh, Orchard Street is like Antarctica, man. It's just shrinking.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
shrinking.
Straight bars.
Wow. Wow. So what inspired the change? You're in and out of jail. You're making money. Some people along the way are lost. So you do a final bid, I guess, on one of your a bid that was a long period of time. What you do, like 7 years on the last bid?
Yeah, I was sentenced to 7 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you had an epiphany. You know, there was some. What was it? What inspired you to change? Is it
It
a
was,
combination of things?
you know, I had the idea starting CONBODY when I ended up in solitary confinement, and this is where like you could call it an epiphany that happened to me. But while I was sitting in that cell, I just felt like I was blaming the world. You know what I mean? I got into this scuffle with an officer. They beat me. They beat me up. I had about 2 months to go home with. Like I was gonna go on an early release program, and and I ended up doing an extra year behind that situation.
Fuck.
But this officer said that I was attempting to assault him, that I was refusing a direct order. Like he wrote a tier 3 ticket. In upstate, when you get a tier 3 ticket, you're gonna do, you know, a lengthy time in the box. And so while I'm in the box, I'm like, fuck, you know, I got to fight this case.
I mean, and
I
the
gotta,
box is serious. You're talking about you experience psychosis in a box, man. It's designed to make you go crazy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. What is it? How big would
Yeah,
you
I
say
was
the box is?
nine
By
by
10?
six, 9 by 6 cell, and I was in 24-hour lockdown. I didn't even get me wrecked, so I'm in there, you know, and in the middle of the summer too, like you in there just fucking sweating bricks. There's no AC, no fan. There's limited air. You know, the
Right,
whole door is shut. So the only crack you have is under the door or on the side of the door where the door slides open.
right.
And so you sticking your nose right through the crack just to like breathe because there's one fan blowing in the whole tier to all the cells, you
Jeez.
know, and you just trying to talk to anybody in the other cells, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Um, yeah, 2 showers a week. You know, it was bad.
It's torture. It's torture. There's no doubt about it. And so during that time, you started like doing the workouts on your own. Did you work out prior to your prison time?
Nah, when I went inside, I was big, and so I worked out when I was a kid. I was playing sports, baseball,
Like how
basketball.
big were you? You were like Freaky Fridge big. Everyone knows Freaky Fridge in the Lower East
So
Side.
that's my cousin too. Shout out
Damn,
to
this guy.
Flip.
Yo, you got more family members than ODB.
Well,
I love
he's
it.
he's
I actually
cousins.
want to get him on the
He's
podcast.
cousins to cousins, basically. So we call each other cousins.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's family right there, man.
Yeah, yeah. You know Flex?
Flex from Third Street.
Uh, no, he used to hang out in Third Street, but he just came home. He did 27. Did
Did he
27.
just come home?
He came home about a year ago.
Holy shit! Him and Alf got locked up.
I think it was Alf.
Yeah, he got locked up. It was a murder conviction back in the 90s.
Yeah.
He's out. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a wild story.
Yeah. And he
Wow.
was young too, man.
He was young, man. I remember he used to walk around shirtless with a pit bull all the time.
Yeah.
I love that pit bull. His pit bull's name was Striker or Thunder.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I'm a big animal lover. While you guys were hustling, I was feeding gerbils at home like that. And squirrels.
But yeah, no, I was big. I was 5'8", 231 pounds. My cholesterol levels were through the roof. Like doctors told me that my that my cholesterol levels might kill me in prison.
Wow.
You know, they said if I kept, not working out and not eating correctly, that in 5 years I could probably die of a heart attack. So that woke me up, and I started like running the yard, working out in my cell, doing burpees, push-ups, all types of shit. And
body weight calisthenics.
that was it. And that became my new obsession. You know, I just kept doing that every day, and lost 70 pounds in 6 months, and just kept moving it. And I remember,
it's not hard as far as your food intake, because you're given a X amount of food daily that you can't overindulge.
Well, you get commissary, you know, so if
Okay.
you got money, you get your own food, you know. Yeah, so I was eating nothing but like high protein, tuna, salmon, everything in the can, you know what I mean? All the fish in the can.
Right.
Frying them up in the microwave or the hot pots, and, you know what I mean? And just kept living like that, kept moving, man. And then in that cell is where I had, you know, a spiritual awakening where I was so frustrated that I couldn't communicate with anybody. I was locked away from the world. You know, my basically I was the officer that was there gave me paper, pen, and an envelope, and I felt like, yo, the only way I'm gonna get out of this is if I write my family and let them know, and I need a lawyer, and I need to get out, and they need to write Albany, you know, hit up IG about this, inspector general, and I need help, you know what I mean? So I started writing a letter, explaining exactly what happened. I needed help with this, contact this person, hit up this person. I put like letters in the letter so they could send it to Albany and shit like that.
Right.
And then I realized I had no stamp to send out the letter with, you know, and so you only get your stamp like 30 days in the box.
Oh God.
And so I'm like, fuck, I'm frustrated. I remember sitting on the bed and banging my head on the wall and just like rocking back and forth. And I'm like just frustrated, you know what I mean? And then a couple days later, my sister, she hits me up, and she finds out I'm in solitary because I was constantly calling home and didn't hear from me, you know, it was like a week in the box. And they were like, they called the prison and they were like, everything okay, blah, blah, blah. And she wrote me a letter, and she was like, yo, I found out you're in solitary. Like, yo, keep your head up. You know, all I want you to do is pray. And my sister's like super religious. Like she's like, you know,
like OD religious. Like she's knocking on your door every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. type shit. Sunday.
Yeah. She's not Jehovah's Witness, but she was doing the Rosarios like in the building and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like they were doing gatherings and all that shit. But
was she a born again Christian?
Nah, she's always just been. She was always a little bit religious, and then as she got older, she got like deep need in the church. And she told me to read Psalm 91 from the Bible. And I was like, what? Like, yo, I was hoping that they was gonna get a lawyer or some shit. I was like, I don't need a Bible, I don't need God. You know, and I had this Bible in my cell, and it's the only thing that follows you around is if you Muslim, you get the Quran, if you know, Christian, you get the Bible. And that's the only thing that they can't take away from you is your religious items. And so I had my Bible that my sister gave me on it, you know, when I was in Rikers, and all I used it for was to like write, you know, my friends that were leaving. I write their names, you know, address, numbers, so we could holler at each other when we come home. And it was people that I wrote down that I want to like hit up so we could scheme, and you know, I got to connect from here and there, you know what I mean? So my mentality was already working backwards, and I'm using the Bible to jot these people's numbers and shit.
Right.
And I remember she wrote that, and I was like, fuck that, yo. And I just laid down on my bed, and out of boredom, I decided to pick it up. And it was like 2 days, 3 days, I don't know. It was just a couple of days inside the box, you know, out of boredom, not doing anything. I decided to pick up the Bible.
Right.
And I read Psalm 91, which states, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I'll say of the Lord, he is my shelter and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And as soon as I read those words, a stamp fell out of my Bible, and there was a stamp between the Psalm pages. And it was a stamp that I needed to send out this long ass message to my family,
Holy
to let them
shit.
know that I needed help and explain the whole situation. So I had chills running down my body. I felt like there was something bigger than myself, And when you alone, I felt freak. It's like there was a freaky feeling, you know what I mean? And then I started reading the Bible from front to back, and for the first time in my life, I started realizing, what I was doing was wrong. That I was not only affecting my son, who are basically, was raised with him, or his like single digits life. I was like spending his all the time inside, you know what I mean,
Right.
basically, and I was like not only affecting him, but I was affecting my family, and then I was affecting the people that I sold drugs to, and
Right.
that just changed my whole mentality. Like, yo, what I was doing was really wrong. I was not, just selling drugs, making money. I was deteriorating people's lives, and those people's lives were affecting other families' lives too. So I was creating this whole domino effect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
this web of destruction, and I felt regret for the first time in my life. That cold heart that I had, just broke down, and I just started praying. I was like, yo, I need to do something with my life, and I started reflecting. I was already working out in the yard. I was already working out with other inmates. I helped over 20 inmates who's over 1,000 pounds combined. So I took that whole workout
Super dope. So now
routine.
you're like at service to people as well, which is super helpful,
Yeah,
for your spirit, being at service to people, offering them knowledge to uplift them, because that could really propel you forward as well.
exactly. Exactly. And I said, this is what I wanted to do when I came home. I wrote down every single workout routine that I did in the yard. I did wrote nutritional facts based on the milk cartons that I was getting in the box. You know what I mean? I started calculating calories and all that shit. And I was bored and I had time to kick, you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right, right.
I read the Bible from front to back. And
How,
I
how did
followed
how
that.
did CONBODY materialize? So you come home, it's not like people are just throwing this fucking business at you. You still have to cultivate, articulate, and manifest what your idea was. And we should all be right. It's like you had to work on it. Now you're in a bit of a hole, right? Because you got the felons, you're a felon. You did this time, you're trying to rebuild your family. You have this idea that you want to do a fitness program called CONBODY. You probably didn't even have the name yet. Did you have the name yet?
No, I did. I didn't
You had
have
an
the name.
idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I think,
I,
and also before my bad, I think it's super dope that with CONBODY you hire ex-convicts and they facilitate and they are the instructors. That's fucking dope.
yep. Yeah. So all my staff members are formerly incarcerated, except for my financial officer, who's
Yeah, anyone who's dealing with the money, you can't have a little history.
who's the Jew? He's the Jewish kid from Westchester. You know what I mean? So he's like,
We got to keep that shit up and up when it comes to the money.
and yeah, no, I mean, I came home. It was not easy. I went out. I already knew what I wanted to do. I already thought that I was going to call this like a prison style boot camp.
No, no.
Um, and I started doing it in the park. I went out to dudes that I was on the block, you know what I mean, still hustling on the corner. And I was like, yo, I'm doing this thing on the block. I'm going to start working out. Da, 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 da. Yo, I'm working out. Yo, come through. I'm running classes, blah, blah, blah. They looked at me like I was fucking with three heads. You know what I mean?
They're like, are you sniffing the shit you were selling?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And dudes would see me out there, like I took a stick, a broken piece of pipe and stuck it between the fences. And I was doing pull-up bars, pull-ups there and doing push-ups and doing all types of calisthenic workouts. And every day I would show up twice a day and I was doing my thing there. And people were like, yo, he's really doing some shit. I don't know.
And you attracted an audience from the neighborhood, like people will come out,
yeah, I got a people that I knew, a couple people from the block, after a while, and then people would disappear. There's people that worked out for like 5 days, and the people fall off all the time.
Yeah.
But I kept pushing.
It reminds me of my history with gang life. I was in Zulu Nation for like 5 days, and I said, like, I need to move out. So wow, so you did it in the parks, and did you ever reach out to any like old customers who could be potential investors?
Yeah, no, I didn't reach out to any old customers. I didn't have like phone numbers and none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
I would imagine some of those motherfuckers could help out.
But I actually had a couple people come to class and say, "Yo, I used to buy drugs off you back in the day."
Wow.
And that was like, oh shit, now, I sold drugs to you, now I'm selling fitness to you.
Yeah.
It came back to a full circle, which was crazy. But yeah, I mean, I went after the same people that I sold drugs to, you know what I mean? The white girls that were wearing yoga pants. And it was a whole different, ball game. You know what I mean? When I went in, nobody worked out. You didn't see nobody running down the block.
I know, fitness is the style right now, right? Like
I know. And so when I came home and people are jogging on the street, I'm like, yo, where the fuck am I living at right now? You know what I mean? So it was a whole different perspective. And I started just going up to those people, running next to them, giving them my business card, telling them, yo, I'm doing this twice a day. I got a prison style boot camp, blah, blah, blah. And it started growing from there, from one person, 2 people, 3 people.
And it's cash money in the street because there's not Venmo, there's no PayPal. Like they're giving you whatever you were asking for at the end of class. Before how did you take it up to another notch? How did you eventually put that money into a space?
Yeah, so I was looking for spaces to rent. I was going to like University Settlement, local gyms, around the neighborhood that I could rent out so I can run the classes, especially during the winter.
Right.
Because it was getting too cold. The winter, I was still out there every single day for 2 years.
Right.
Hustling and just saving my scraps and doing any type of side job that I was coming along with.
Did you treat it like the money you got from that, was that your sole income, and you like everything that comes in from the classes has to go back into the business? Did you do it that way, or you?
I also had to survive too. So I had a son, I had a baby moms, I had my mom. She was renting the couch, to me for $250 a month. So I had to make that happen. You know what I mean? And that $250 is nothing, but. I was living on the couch for 2 years. And then I was also I applied for this program that really helped me. It's called Defy Ventures.
It's called Defy Ventures?
Ventures. And so they help people. Mikey likes ice cream.
Yes, absolutely, man. He's a Lower East Side staple too. I love to see that he's still open and pumping. We all need ice cream.
Yep.
What Mikey's ice cream? What is on Avenue A and
13th Street?
You're the man. 13th Street, yep. I actually shot a sketch there in front of there a couple of years back. He's the man.
Yeah, so he went through a program too.
Okay.
And
but did he do some time too? Is this like a program that goes that's in unison with people who are fresh out of jail or something like that?
Yeah, so people coming out of the prison system, they could join the program to start their own business. So there's this business plan competition. So you go in there, like you actually pitch into, real investors. You're not getting investment money, but you're actually getting grants. And so doing it was like Shark Tank, you know what I mean? And it was a whole year program. And so I won like $10,000 through like 3 competitions.
That's awesome, man.
And so I took that money and then I started trying to find a space to rent. And a lot of people were like, yo, I don't think this is a good idea. I went to YMCA, the last resort, and I was like, yo, can I rent the room here to run my shit? And they were like, they got back to me. They was like, yo, it doesn't go with our brand, because I was bringing,
Yeah, man, they're looking at you like a liability.
Yep. Yeah. So I was frustrated. I was like, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm going to be outside, da-da-da-da. And something told me, yo, just reach back out. And so I wrote back an email. I was like, yo, thank you so much for, your consideration, blah, blah, blah. I just had a level head. I was like, but if you know of any other spots, please let me know. And they referred me to this spot on Lafayette Street,
Okay.
Lafayette and Astor Place called 440 Studios. So I started renting out studio space there, and they didn't ask any questions. You just go in there, you pay, you use your space, and my rooms in there started getting packed, so much demand that I had to get another trainer. And there's where the concept of me hiring people coming out of the prison system came about, because everybody I knew, that was coming home, they were working out and they wanted to get into fitness. You know what I mean? They were, they had this prison body. So my first hire was Sultan Malik. He did 14 years in prison. He was from Best Eye. And we got together, and I gave him a room. And so his room started getting packed. My room started getting packed. And I was like, yo, we need to find a space. And so we subleased the space behind the school where we could, do more hours, because we only limited to like 3 hours, 4 hours a day in that spot. And so we subleased this, it was like a preschool. And when we went to the preschool, I didn't make the same mistake and told these people, I'm not doing anything with prison. I told them, yo, I'm doing like a Pilates program, blah, blah, blah.
And all my clients' names are Megans.
Yeah, exactly. And so they
spelled differently.
Yeah, Becky,
Becky's and Megans.
Exactly. So they were with it. And so we started renting the risk space there. And then the principal of the school came by, and she saw a sign. I put a sign up, prison style boot camp. She was Russian. She was like, what is this?
What is this prison style workout you do?
Yeah. And so she saw the website, and she called me to the office. She was like,
and Russians, all my Russian friends are straightforward. They're gonna let you have it.
Yeah. She was like, we don't want no prison.
I don't have any Russian friends. I'm just trying to be politically correct here.
Yeah. So she tried to kick me out of the school, but I had like a little sublease agreement that she had to give me like a 90-day warning. Right. Out about. So I got to stay there for about a year. And then I raised more money. I was saving all the money, and then we opened up a space on Broome Street, on Broome and Eldridge, on the exact same corner where I first got locked up at, and
once again, we go full circle, right?
Went back to a full circle, and I started running stuff there. And then we outgrew that space, and we moved into a permanent space now on Ludlow Street. We're on Ludlow between Delancey and Rivington.
Yeah, dope. Is a brick and mortar spot still open for operation, or because of COVID, you got to do everything outside, or is it just open, but like at 30% capacity?
Yeah, 25% capacity right now. All so, right. I'm running stuff there. In the summer, fall, a little bit of the winter, we were outside. We were in the park.
I'm still doing shit outside. I train, I do boxing, whatever, and I still do shit outside, man. It's, it's not as often, but I'll do it once a week or something. Yeah. And it's weird working out. I mean, I like working out outside, but you're dealing with the public. So every now and then you just have some fucking dude roll up like, yo, you box? Meanwhile, it's clear that we're boxing.
Yeah.
Yo, you box? I used to box. Oh man, if I didn't get locked up, I would have made it. I had this guy come up, I would have made it. He started shadow boxing, I would have made it.
Yeah.
And then with that comes the life story, and I'm trying to be polite and shit. And he's like, make sure she doesn't over pivot, all right? She's over pivoting. Make sure she doesn't over pivot.
Word, man.
One story that stuck out to me when I watched the doc, which by the way, I watched a few different podcasts you did. And but the documentary really grabbed me. That shit, it was funny when you and Joey were hustling, how you went on a Central Park horse chariot. Who does that shit? With furs on, and what were you doing? Tell the story.
Yeah. So
I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, no. We went to Central Park, and I don't know. We were high. We were high as fuck. We were smoking, and we're like,
Okay,
yo, let's.
did you get high or whatever? Like you smoked weed, but you never dabbed in your own shit. Like you were.
No, yeah, just smoked weed, drank a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hung out and party. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But yeah, never used coke. You know, I've tried it once in my life.
Wow,
When
that is wild. How you could have your head, you could be knee deep in this shit, and
yeah,
like you never fucked with it.
I tried it when I was 11. One of my cousins played a trick
That
on me,
young, yo,
and
who does that?
yeah, he put it in a Vicks, you know, the sniff Vicks bottles,
That's just, I like that idea.
and yeah, he put it. He was sniffing coke, and we were like, he didn't even tell me it was coke, and so I take a hit. He's like, "Yo, try this." I've never even seen a Vicks bottle, you know. I never seen it. And I take a hit, and I started shaking, and I'm like, I started crying,
Wow.
and he was older than me, so I fucking went and like tackled him, and then he fucked me up. He gave me the biggest wedgie of my life.
You must have
Anyway,
been like, what the fuck kind of prescription Vicks is this? You can't get
yeah.
this shit over the counter.
No, he was like, yo, you just sniffed coke. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? I was 11. I thought I was gonna die. Anyway, um, but it was crazy. We rode the horse and carriage, and I remember, yo, we used to operate a phone, so we were delivering, you know, drugs
This is
from
like early
all over
2000.
Manhattan. Yeah, early 2000s. I think this was probably like 2003, four, some shit like that.
All right, so Dr. Dre had just dropped, you know, well, a couple of years after Dr. Dre dropped his
Yeah,
second album. I like to use classic rap albums as a timestamp.
yeah.
See what music you
Me,
guys
me too.
might have been listening to.
Me too. I reflect with music, and I reflect the year it came out. You know.
Yeah. So you had a lot of Dipset and shit like that going on.
Exactly. So we get in this horse and carriage, start smoking in there, and then people start calling us, and we were like, "Yo, you know, we're riding down Fifth Avenue in a horse and carriage. Come meet us on this corner. Blah blah blah. Hurry up!" And so people will run like two avenues and meet us on the corner, and then we'll hit them off, and we're just like going down Fifth Avenue selling drugs. It was something crazy. We get to Forsyth, we're fucking hustling there, and then we go to the McDonald's on Delancey when they like first opened up over there.
Horse and carriage?
Yeah, on the horse and
That's
carriage.
outside of their jurisdiction.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to ride under. I think they're only supposed to go under like over 47th Street. They have barriers,
Yeah.
you know, in Manhattan where they go only travel. But we paid this lady $5,000 to get
Wow.
out. Yeah, and
She was Russian. She didn't give a fuck. She's like, yes, I do it.
and she lived on Forsyth Street back in. She lived on Rivington Street back in the day, and she knew my uncle and all the shit. And it was a like random white lady, and she was telling me like, and she just put her. I think she had like sunglasses on, just kept riding like nothing was happening. And I remember pulling up to the block, and all the kids were like, you know, touching the horse, and we bought like a bag of carrots, and we bought like apples and shit like that, and all the kids are feeding the horse.
That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious, man. Yo, so do you think that flex is gonna be working for y'all? Or he too old for that shit?
He's too old for that,
He's been
man.
locked up for a minute.
Yeah.
Yo, if I see him, man, I don't even know if I recognize him, man.
Yeah,
Shit. 27 years. That's wild. That's wild. So what do you foresee for CONBODY? Like, what's the plan? Are you doing the virtuals? I'm sure you tapped into that already.
Yeah, absolutely. We were doing the virtual before, you know, the pandemic, and then once the pandemic hit, we just tripled down on that. You know, like the memberships grew. We started running ads on it. So we're still continuing to run ads virtually, and then we in the studio we actually installed a 4K Zoom camera, just like this. So we're running classes 3 times a day on a Zoom, and we have limited amount of people. You know, I've done classes with 700 people in one Zoom thing. You know,
That's
so
awesome, man.
it's crazy. It's crazy to see. It actually, you know, COVID's been a little bit of a blessing for us. You know.
Yeah, and I would say the same. You know, just the amount of work I've got because I do stand up as well. Stand up has taken a little bit of a dip. The
Yeah.
stand up comedy has taken a little bit of a dip.
If
But
you're
as
doing
far as-
stand up, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. I gotta connect
yeah,
you
yeah, for sure.
with one of my trainers.
Yeah, no. So, well, one of your trainers is stand up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout
Oh
out to
yeah, like, holla at me. I mean, the thing is, stand up these days. I'm still on the road here and there, but it's taking a dip, as you can imagine,
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
Zoom doesn't work with stand up. You can do training to stand up,
Yeah.
but you know, it's fucked up when you're on Zoom and some dude is playing solitaire while you're fucking doing a stand up set.
It's crazy.
Got a cat on his head and shit. But yeah, no, it's been what I found, and you probably have found, is this the people just need a direction and they need to, you know, the instruction to get whipped back into shape. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit has battered a lot of people, both mentally and physically. So, you know, CONBODY and other gym facilities who are taking part and doing live, super important and super smart. And I'm glad that you guys are on it like that. I love the fact that also all your stuff is body weight exercise, which is dope.
Yep. And so that's what made it successful, you know,
Yeah.
because I didn't have to tell none of my clients, yo, pick up some weights. You know what I mean? It was just like, yo, turn on the first day they told us, yo, you got to close down. I was like, yo, I'm going to send everybody here. First I started with Google Meets, and I was like, yo, I'm going to do Zoom. And so I was like, yo, open up the Zoom link. Boom. We bought a little audio kit. We fixed that up. We bought a nice professional camera, fixed that up in the studio, and, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said as you know, stripping down to bare bone and being able to become one with yourself and build up. And that's what CONBODY to me embodies, man. It embodies that grit, you know, and you know, that fortitude. And that's dope, man, that you know, you have a bunch of ambassadors and you're the leader of that, man. That's really fucking awesome. It's a great story. You're still living in the Lower East Side?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah,
here.
I like that shit. Yo, you better not move to Dykeman, yo.
I lived in Dykeman. I had a spot in Dykeman back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. There's still a lot of Dominicans on Dykeman, right?
Oh yeah. That's it. But it's getting gentrified over there too.
Yeah, this New York, man. This New York. It's funny. I'm actually a quarter Dominican, but I never tell anybody that because no one gives a shit, right? Like, you know, if I say I'm 75% Puerto Rican, 25% Puerto Rican, Dominican, people are like, who gives a fuck, right? But I am. My father was half Dominican. But every time I do say that, I feel silly because it reminds me of someone who's like, oh, I'm 25% Cherokee, you know, 50% Navajo. I'm like, no, bitch, you white. Like, stop it. So I don't like to bore people with those details. You know what I'm saying?
We're Latino. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. All one love. Yo, Coss, man, I really do appreciate your time. You're the man. You know, this was short notice, and you know, and you sharing means a lot to me. Yeah, I can't wait to go to our class. I'm gonna sign up online, and I hope to go to yours. But if you're not available, then I'll go to one of your homeboys or whatever and take one of their classes, one of the other instructors.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna be mad and annoying with ankle socks with the little balls on the end like that. I'm coming through with dirty ankle socks with pit bull hair on the bottom there. Yo, Kosh, you're the man, brother.
No,
Stay up, and whatever you need from me, man, you got it, man. If you need your boy to holler at me about the stand-up comedy, I'll tell him real quick. Don't even bother. He's gonna end up killing himself trying to do stand-up.
Nah. He's been doing great. He's been doing great.
Doing it? What's his name, if you don't mind my asking?
Derek Drescher.
Derek Drescher. Yeah, we don't know. Derek Drescher.
Nah, he started about a year ago, but he's done stuff at the Stand. He's done.
Oh, dope, man.
You know, Gotham.
Yeah, connect us too, man.
Getting out there. He's getting out there, and we're doing something like underground too. So.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, yeah, yo, whatever you need, man, I'm there, man. I appreciate you, and have a fantastic day, and get on with your day. I'll talk to you sooner than later.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right, peace.